Thank you for joining us today.
Our hour-long roundtable discussion about Brooks and Dunn. Hey! We did it! Take that jacket off. That's disrespectful to Kix and Ronnie. You don't ever cover them up.
Too much fringe right here to be covered in denim.
Nobody puts baby in a corner!
Oh, my God. These shirts are such a vibe. And it's funny because we'd been planning always, like, got to wear the Brooks and Dunn shirts. Yours is so much more faded than mine because you've been kind of living in it this summer. And you made fun of me. Do you not recall, Big Mike, how much he made fun of me when I wanted to buy him at the show? I was like, we have to. We FaceTimed our boss at home. We're like, he's like, she's making me buy a matching shirt.
Well,
and
I didn't
love it.
I was hesitant at first, but then I was standing in line and then we both picked the same one. And then I was like, okay, well, if we get the same one.
I had this poster as a kid on my wall. I had this poster.
So good. This shirt has seen a lot of things. It has seen a Buc-ee's. It has seen the swimming pool. It has seen the fireworks show. It has seen my bed. I have slept in this thing. I have done yard work in this thing.
You're man.
The boys come with me everywhere I go. And you know, this is freshly washed, so this is like clean as of 2 hours. Oh. I will still be wearing this probably Wednesday.
I would believe that. Yeah,
yep.
I believe that.
Yep.
That show was so good. Man, we're going into a huge weekend here in Denver with shows. We've got Chesney, we've got Lainey tonight at Cheyenne, Thomas Rhett tomorrow night. Still, you look back, shows of the summer, Brooks and Dunn, man, that was a freaking dance party. It was nonstop.
Yeah, I know.
Nonstop. It was so fun. God, we looked at their set list and just like, do you do that all the time? Do you look at the set list in advance?
I don't. Only if I'm kind of like on the fence. If I want to leave or if I've got something else going on, is it worth it? Are they going to play my favorite songs? And I checked out Kenny Chesney's. His set list is really good. There's one or two songs that he's not going to play probably, and I'm a little sad about that.
Yeah.
I asked him to play "Come Over," and he hasn't played it yet this tour. So, but maybe, I mean, he told me he would, so maybe tomorrow night he will.
If I were to go deep track on Kenny Chesney, "Better as a Memory" would be my favorite Kenny Chesney, or "Somewhere with You."
I love "Somewhere with You."
He does that one.
He does that one though.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's doing it on this tour. But
what's the one where
"Better as a Memory" is so good.
It's our boss's favorite song. Where
walking along the neon lights of that Miracle Mile. Yeah, anyone but mine. Anyone but mine.
The other one talks about like there's a Bible verse or something in it. Oh God!
There's not country songs with Bible verses. Yeah, there is. That's like being like that's the one.
I know. If our boss is watching, text me when you watch this, boss, so I know that you actually watched the Big Dumb Post Show, and let me know what your favorite song is.
I really need to know which one it is too.
It's
a Kenny Chesney song with a Bible verse in it?
Not a Bible verse, but he talks about Mary.
Me and Mary making our way. Yeah, anyone. It's a great song to play on guitar.
And
if I'm going back in
that
Cleveland.
One. It's that one.
Yeah. I guess I had it the whole time. Yeah.
You were
Tomorrow I'm leaving, making my way back to Cleveland. So tonight I hope. There's a Bible verse in this song? There's not. There's no Bible verse in this song.
It says the word Bible.
Skibbity toilet, Ohio.
That is a jam. That is actually one of my favorite songs to play on guitar, is that one, because it's really fun.
But what's it called? Anywhere but
I've
here?
said it like 72
Anything
times.
but mine?
I'm not saying it anymore. I'm not saying it
so I'm
anymore.
not sure if he does that one.
He usually does do that one.
Yeah,
because that
that's
one
a
is a
good
huge favorite for a lot of people.
Yeah, so good.
Next week you were mentioning how you look at set lists to know when you're going to leave.
Sure. Is the encore worth it?
Yes.
Because I got to beat traffic.
I will be staying for the first time in I take it back. Not the first time. I was going to say like a decade. The Lumineers show here, when they played Coors Field, I stayed the whole time. That was 2 years ago, like yesterday. I just saw the memory. Still, I would go top 3 shows of my life. Of my life, that Lumineers show. I stayed for the whole thing. You know this, behind the scenes, my 2 older boys didn't get a chance to see Zach Bryan when he was in town for his stadium show. I did. He was fantastic. My oldest son is a huge Zach Bryan fan. They've got doors wrapped around our radio station of artists, of like people that work here, their offices of their favorite artists. His is Zach Bryan, right? I'm flying them up to Minnesota to see the tour there. They're so excited. We just found out we were going, all that stuff. Book the flights. I'll stay for the whole show. And I know I can't ask them to leave early. And I've already stressed about it. Like, oh, God, the freaking traffic. It's going to be a freaking nightmare.
It's going to be a nightmare. You're going to be standing in line if you're trying to do public transportation. Oh, my God.
Oh, I don't know. And he goes with Revival every time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But I have stayed to the end of most of the... I've seen Kenny, like maybe 3 times at Mile High. And I think I've stayed till the end twice.
Really?
Yeah, and it's a mess. But it's worth it. But that's when I look at the encores. Is the encore going to be worth the drama getting home? And most of the time for Kenny, it is.
I waited one time. I got bit by the whole encore thing once. And it was Prince. You know, like there's no way I'm not staying till Prince is done, right? And he did this right before he died. Right before. He did this stint in Chicago where he was like, I'm just going to play for like 9 nights in a row. In Chicago. And he did. He announced it like 3 days before he played.
Residency.
And he goes and just freaking plays Chicago. I went to the one show where he didn't come back out. The rest of the shows, he come back like 2 hours later and just be like, I'm going to do it again. And then play like for another hour. You know, like Prince was weird like that. And then so that it hits and I'm there and I had to work a morning show the next day in Madison, Wisconsin, 2 hours away. So I was like, we're waiting. Prance is here. You know? The one show he doesn't come back out. He's like, Prance is tired. I stood there like an idiot.
Like they were sweeping up.
They're like, girl, he's not
You have
coming
got to go.
out. Yes, but there was one usher, and this woman, I think about her sometimes. She's like, I know he's coming back out. And she do it like that. It was so funny. It was so funny.
And he never did.
He never did.
Aww.
He never did. But like, I mean, that's, you know, he just lives in his own land.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I don't think it was personal for you. He didn't even know you were there.
Well, 2 truths in that. It wasn't personal against me. But maybe it was. He did know that I was there. He could feel it. Maybe it was like she needs to go do her show. And I know, like, this is my girl. I know that she needs to go.
He was only thinking about you.
He was only thinking about me. You know.
All right,
Support, guys.
Anybody in the room making the trek up to Lainey Wilson and Thomas Rhett? That'd be
fun.
A great week. Like spend the night tonight, see Thomas Rhett, make a weekend of it.
And Lainey is awesome. I bet her show tonight. I bet she just killed it. Thomas is always great, but like Lainey is just every show she just becomes bigger.
And if we're lucky, she'll split her pants.
She did the other day. I looked at that video. I mean, it wasn't a Maren Morris ungodly situation. Jeez, girl.
Google it.
Like, it is
not
like
at work.
Like, usually you have to make a yearly appointment to see everything you saw on that.
And I don't think she does. I think everything's fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
a doctor could have looked at that and been like, okay, so next
you're
year
good.
Then, you're fine. Right? Oh my God, that girl. Yeah, no, Lainey, I saw that she split her pants somewhere and she sat down and like one of her bandmates had to tell her, like, you ripped your britches, you know? So there was no, like, she was like, she's so badass.
Yeah, we talked to her today, and the last time she played Denver was opening up for Jason Aldean, right?
Yeah.
Which she said that immediately she had to get oxygen when she came off of stage. So, the altitude, I Googled, is Cheyenne higher or lower in altitude than Denver?
Lower.
It's higher.
Is it really?
Get Lainey some oxygen, CFD.
How much
Protect her
higher?
at all costs. It's 6,000. They're at 6,000 something. It's not that much.
Where do you live? Or I mean, what's the altitude? Have you ever checked your altitude where you live?
What do you mean, in Centennial?
Yeah.
Or where I grew up?
Yeah, in Centennial. 5830?
Is what?
Centennial.
Centennial. What's Cheyenne? It's like 6,000.
6,000. Yeah. Do you know where I live? It's 6120.
I feel like Parker goes down.
It's 6120 where I live.
Really?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, when I drive to Parker,
higher.
I always feel like I'm down. Like Aurora and Parker to me are downhill.
No, I mean, we do have that dip, but I always tell you when I make the drives in the winter, do I not always tell you? We have another girl that lives in Parker too. There is a line where the weather changes. where the weather, so I think we dip down and then come back up. We're at 6120 at my house. I have to use the special high altitude baking instructions.
Way to make it about you. My point was Lainey Wilson is going to need oxygen Cheyenne Frontier Days tonight.
Where was I supposed to go with that? I don't control oxygen.
But if she struggled here, she's going to struggle in Cheyenne.
Lainey Wilson, not invited to my home for her own good. I love you for the safety of you and your britches.
We found out this week that Thomas Rhett, the first horse that he ever bought, was at the Cheyenne Frontier Days.
Yeah.
Like an adoption program. Trailered it back to his house.
Daisy, his
Still
horse
has
Daisy
it.
is from Cheyenne.
Still has it.
Oh my God.
What
Can
a
you
fun little
imagine?
story that is. And it was a wild horse. What's his wife's name?
Lauren.
Lauren had to break this horse. She broke her husband. She had to break Thomas. Probably in the same way. Get a saddle on him.
All right, you guys have a fantastic weekend to see out all the big shows. Hey, if you see us, say hi. We hate getting messages like on Monday of like, oh, we saw you at the show. I didn't want to bother you. Say hi. We'd love to talk, especially if it's about ourselves. Bye, guys.